Most vehicles have at the front 2 headlights. But trains in Germany, as well as many other European countries, have 3, forming an A or triangle. Now, what is the reason for this third light? And how and when did this practice start? The answer to the first question is surprisingly simple. The answer to the second one, well, let me give you a bit of context first. Because originally, trains in Germany were also led by just 2 white marker lights during night or bad visibility. Exactly what you would expect. But already in the 19th century, featured German locomotives a third lamp iron in their respective position. In fact, many old factory photographs show locomotives with 3 lanterns in place. But like so often, are those photos fairly misleading. Most of the time remained the third lamp iron vacant, or the lamp, in case it was permanently attached, unlit, as it was reserved for special signals only. During the day, either a red or a green disc could occupy this position, the red disc indicating a train on the wrong side of a double-tracked line, and the green, which later gave way to a white disc, announcing an upcoming special coming from the opposite direction of the messenger. While the night signal for indicating a train on the left track made no use of the third lamp iron in question, was at night the disc announcing a special simply swapped for a lantern in the respective color, initially green and later white, resulting effectively into the modern head signal. This change happened alongside other significant color changes in signaling, which we will discuss at another day, around 1910, and took until the early 1920s to be implemented everywhere. But while looking like the modern head signal, had the third light at that point still a very different meaning, and would in the following years, due to telegraphs replacing its function, become increasingly rare. By 1940, it had disappeared altogether. So, what caused it to come back? By the 1950s, cars and trucks had become rather common, and they also had 2 headlights, which turned out to be a big problem. During nighttime, would road drivers often mistake the marker lights of a train for another car or truck, which could and often did lead to severe accidents, especially on level crossings or roads closely following rail lines. Trains needed to be easier identifiable for road traffic, even from afar. They needed a unique head signal. Already in the late 19th century, used the steam locomotive-pulled urban trains in the busy cities of Berlin and Vienna permanently 3 white marker lights. Not for announcing specials, but for safety. And what started in crowded cities was now tested on West Germany's most problematic branch lines, before becoming binding law for all lines in September 1957. While modern traction locomotive in multiple units usually had a third lamp already built in, required steam locomotives 2 additional lanterns, 1 for each end. As by nature not all lines could be equipped with those at once, was a 4-year transitional period granted. But only 2 years for lines with level crossings without gates or lights. You would, however, not see the old and the new signal next to each other. Each line could only use either one or the other, to not add even more confusion upon road users. While the East German Reichsbahn introduced the new head signal 2 years later, was it originally only required for lines with those problematic level crossings, and only when specifically ordered. The requirement for a specific order was eventually dropped and the use extended to all lines, at least for locomotives already fitted with a third lamp, meaning in some cases the old signal could still be seen in the 1980s. Many other countries followed, but even in those that to this day only use 2 headlights, have locomotives often a third lamp for cross-border use. And even in Germany exists to this day one exception, where a train still only needs 2 headlights. Namely if the leading vehicle can't fit a third lamp, like an open wagon. But really the only time this is relevant is with on-duty work trains. 3 times thank you to Contrian, Dan Mandan, Dave Heise, Flip Schwip, Kay Frankley, Lucas Ilskens, Martin Wigican, Søren Dominic Cook, Steamy Player, Void Elder, as well as everyone in the Tender First tier for helping me to create these videos. And thank you for watching. But now that we talked about the beginning, what about the end?